It's the OCGFAM show. We're still talking about alkalinity, but now we're getting serious. Let's get into it. Hey there, Bob from Oregon, Wisconsin Gardener. Welcome to the OCGFAM show to you, my YouTube buddies. What's going on? Let me know in the comments after the show. Right now, let's just get into the show. I'm still talking about alkalinity. A few of you have expressed some dismay. They're like, hey, can we get off the alkalinity, get back to some of the other stuff? And I get you, and I do want to get back to the other stuff, talking about, just stuff we've been talking about all this time. But I wanted to show you something from the feeding schedule, just as a reminder. When you're looking down here, it's got all the stuff and the measurements, what you should do, and it goes into some philosophy and all that kind of thing. And when you get to the notes, it says pH is critical. Nectar for the Gods is a calcium-based line that is most available to the plant in the pH range of 6.2 to 6.8. And that is a fundamental of the line, and not just a thing where people have had trouble with that pH drifting and it takes them out of that calcium range, but also a thing of you can stay tighter into that calcium range, you can see some significant benefits and really get the true power of this line. So to that end, alkalinity being a tool for doing that, of controlling the alkalinity, I want to really get it sorted, because I feel like we've done a bunch of videos with this and we've kind of danced around it, but we're figuring out as we go a little bit, just like you are. So I want to do some videos until we got this sorted. Then we'll get on to the other stuff. So this first video, I'm going to take the pig farmer video, number 2, the second pig farmer video we did, and I'm going to break that up into a big bunch of chunks, because I think it frames where we're at with the issue pretty well, and Pig's really got a good feel for this, and him and Scott playing back and forth off each other was very useful, I think. So this first clip I want to show you is just kind of the little first part of it they did, which is kind of a State of the Union thing. Where we're at so far on alkalinity, what it means, what it's about, and what they're doing about that. And then we're going to dig deeper into it over 3, 4, 5, I don't know, over a few episodes. But watch this clip. I think this will get us a good start.
Back here at the pig farm, so blown away by your last results from what we saw with your last alkalinity. We needed to come back up, kind of discover a little bit more. We've gotten a lot of viewer questions, a lot of people getting engaged with this. There's a lot of guys running out immediately after our first videos and buying up all the tools that we knew about at the time. The downfall is a lot of these people are buying tools that aren't necessarily going to work for them at this time because of their pH issue. Right. We have some ideas, some solutions. We've been talking with a cat, David Miner out of Wisconsin, who's also been looking at different home experiments for smaller grows. Small gardens, yeah. You're blessed, because one thing I don't think we mentioned on our first video was how much your well that you're pulling out of now for this location has how much CO2?
About 450 parts per million CO2. Okay. So that's bringing my pH of my water down to like 6.5. So that's why I'm having such a good reaction and results with the calcite reactors, is my water is naturally coming through out of the tap at like 6.5, where if you're like 7.2 or 7.4 and you're thinking that these calcite reactors are going to work for you, it isn't going to work the same, because
you need the acid to dissolve the carbonate to make it a bicarbonate, to make it solubilize into the water. And the downfall is 7's neutral, 7.4 is alkaline or base, 6.4 is acidic. And what we need to do is create an acidic solution to then dissolve the calcite to make the bicarbonate solubilize in the water source.
And basically what this means is there's no easy answer. You need to do your water tests, and everybody's kind of got to be their own water chemist to that point.
There's going to definitely be a learning curve on it.
Every garden's going to have a different answer.
And pretty soon I'll have some video links from Dave. He's doing some home experiments with it. What he's doing is he doesn't have the CO2 reaction, he doesn't have the bubbler like you've got a reef tank. So you can have the luxury of running CO2, like a CO2 charger that's
through a calcium reactor.
Yeah, and what's happening there is you're taking the neutral water, and the CO2 is creating carbonic acid in the water solution. And the nice thing about carbonic acid is it stabilizes at 6.3, 6.4. It won't ever drop below 5 or any of that. So you're never going to create such an acidic situation where you're going to be chasing this problem down the road with still having acidic soil. But what Dave found was, and he's a small, personal grower, just a few plants. He's taking all of his feed solutions, so he's building up his food, all of his normal recipe, gets it to about 6.4, then he adds in another 1 to 2 teaspoons per gallon of Olympus up to get up to about a pH of 8.0.
Okay.
Then he's taking carbonated water from the store, 99 cents a gallon for just, sparkling water with no flavor, CO2 rich water, and adjusting the pH down with CO2 water versus Hades down. And now, we were discussing this a little bit earlier. Can't most gardeners just drop their water to 6.4 with Hades down or a phosphoric acid, run it through your calcite, create the alkalinity, solubilize that, which all of that would work. The only concern we'd have there is over a long period of time, the phosphorus in phosphoric acid is like a 0.550 in pure form. So by continuously doing that, what's going to end up happening with the phosphates in the soil? What you're doing is way more naturally occurring, so it's, you're getting that calcite without the buildup of the excess phosphates. So there's many home remedies that we're playing with.
Things yet to be discovered also.
A lot of discoveries.
It'll be a year before we have this all ironed out, probably.
Yeah, but a fun year of watching weight gain. That's the beauty, is that we're not seeing
it all makes
lacking.
improvements.
Okay, what do you think of that? Entertaining? Informative? Questions? Comments? Thoughts? Tomorrow we're going to get in a little deeper with this and start talking about the real power of keeping your pH in range. So I think that'll be interesting. I love you. I'll see you then. The OCG Fam Show. Ooh, it's pretty good. It happens every day. It's the OCG Fam Show. See you tomorrow.